Good morning, YouTube, and happy Mother's Day. Don't forget to tell your mom happy Mother's Day and give her a kiss, and be thankful for your mom, because of course it wasn't for her, you wouldn't be here. So anyway, before I get into this haul, I just want to say thanks to all my subs that come by, check my videos out, continue to support my channel. I really appreciate it. And for anybody new, thank you for stopping by. Please hit that sub button, that like button, that bell button. Then you'll be all set for any other information I put out. But anyway, I did find some time to go hunt for some books. So this will be my May / free comic book day haul. I did grab, probably 60 books or so. I think I found some pretty decent stuff, and almost all this was in dollar bin finds. Considering free comic book day, there was a bunch of sales. So I ran up to this comic shop, I'd say about an hour away. Opened at noon, figured I'd be there, maybe the first one there, not realizing it was free comic book day. So I showed up and there was like a line a mile long. Well, outside they had a tent set up, bunch of boxes, everything $1. And then when you got into the store, most of the things were $1. Not all, but most. So let me jump right into this. I did pick up a Catwoman #1 from 1993. This is probably my second or third copy of this, but it's in fantastic shape, so for $1 I wasn't going to pass it up. And then I grabbed Blue Devil Annual #1, another solid condition book for $1. And then this one I was kind of surprised to find. Silver Age Classics, House of Secrets '92, newsstand edition. But I love Bernie Wrightson. I love Swamp Thing, so picking this book up here was a no-brainer. Besides, I want to read this story. I don't actually want to mess with the original. So this is a good second choice for that book. So digging through these boxes, I also found Avengers No Road Home #1. A second copy of Champions Now #1. And then I found 2 copies of the all-new Captain America #1, where Sam Wilson becomes Captain America. And right now this book is getting a little heat, so finding a couple copies for $1, I was pretty happy about that. Okay, moving on. Like I say, I got a bunch of books here, so I'm going to try to get through it pretty fast, so I'm not making an hour video. But I also found a Brigade #3 newsstand, #9 newsstand, Cyberforce #2 newsstand, and another copy of Stormwatch #1 newsstand. And I'm sure most of you know, but if you're new, these Image newsstand books are not real easy to find. So anytime I see them, I snatch them up, especially if they're $1, and a lot of times they are. All right, moving on. I did pick up a Smiley the Psycho Button anti-holiday special #1. I found a Purgatory #0 and a Purgatory #1. I love Purgatory. I think she's a great character, so I grab, some of these earlier issues, especially if they're cheap. I don't think you can go wrong if you do that. And then these next 2, I paid $25 for both of them together. But I picked up Cyber Frog, Reservoir Frog #2, and Cyber Frog #3, which these books, if you don't know already. They have heat, and the artwork's fantastic, and they are not easy to find at all. So anytime I run into a Cyber Frog, especially if it's in good condition, I'm gonna grab it. That's for sure. Okay, moving on. Still have a pile to get through. I did pick up Marvel Knights #4, the Virgin variant. I thought it was a pretty cool cover for $1. I wasn't going to leave it behind. Now this one here I paid $9 for. And this is Evil Ernie. This is the #1 from their monthly edition. And this is the limited premium edition, it says, from 1998. So I guess you can consider this an early Virgin variant. Super cool cover, super high grade, and I'm actually not sure if this was like if there was like a limited number printing on this. So if anybody knows, please leave it in the comments. I love to hear y'all's comments. I mean, that's what this community is about. It helps me learn things. It helps me, you know, make new friends. I don't know how many people out there have reached out to me, and, you know, we've communicated back and forth. And what I love about it is I've been collecting when, I guess you can say collecting wasn't cool, you know. People would say, oh, you collect comics. You know, you're a geek, nerd thing to do, and, you know, they just kind of laughed at it. Well, who's laughing now? You know, I've managed to build a collection over the years where most of my books I pretty much paid nearly nothing for. $1 cover price, and now these books are pretty expensive. So, you know, look who's laughing now. That's all I have to say. Then I picked up for $1 Avengers 198. Nothing real super special about this book. I just picked it up because it was in a solid high grade in the dollar bin. So anytime I find Bronze Age books, high grade for cheap, I buy them. All right. So moving on, I started digging through these boxes that were at the tent, and right away, in the very first box I came to, I found Superman in Action Comics, number 708. And let me adjust this because you really can't see it too well. If I can adjust it a little bit. But as you can see, this is the DC Universe logo variant. Some of the rarest DC comics out there. They can be super tough to find. So I was pleasantly surprised to see a DC Universe logo variant in the dollar bin underneath the tent. And that wasn't all. Then I found Action Comics 701, Man of Steel 35, Man of Steel 34, Adventure Comics 514, Task Force number 20, Batman 510, and Robin number 34. And some of these are doubles and triples, but I was I don't know, kind of surprised when the first like 5 or 6 books I ran into were all DC Universe logo variants. But let me get these out of the way. All for $1 too. But that isn't all. I started going through all the boxes they had out, and most of these were in one box. But I also found Batman 531, 532, Shadow of the Bat, 52. Number 56. Detective Comics, 676. Aquaman, number 5. Flash, 96, 97, 98, and 104. Green Lantern, 51. But this isn't the super hard to find second printing. But still, all in all, happy to pick one of those up. Green Lantern, 54. A second copy of 54. Justice League International, 60. And 61. And Justice League Task Force, number 22. Shazam, number 2. Superboy, number 1. Number 11. And number 20. And like I said, all these were from the dollar bin outside. A whole line of people there. None of them picked any of these up. Superman 92. 105. Action Comics, 700. 707. 709. And 722. Superman Man of Steel, 40. 43. 44. 45. And the last one, number 59. All in the dollar bin. I grabbed every one. Didn't leave one of them behind. And so, since I spent $20 out in the tent area, which I spent more than that, but the limit was $20 is to receive a free copy of this hardcover Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, Jim Lee cover, which I thought was super cool. Still in the plastic, haven't been opened. Got that free for spending $20. And then the last book I'm going to show is an upgrade. I had one for a long time. It was probably a 4.035. It had the Marvel value stamp cut out of it. I ended up selling it, and I finally found a decent copy that was not, you know, gonna break the bank. I think I paid $35 or $36 for this on eBay shipped. But Avengers 144, the first appearance of Hellcat, in just fantastic condition. If you can see it through the glare, there's really no spine ticks on this thing. Sorry, I'm not even putting in the camera right so you can see it. I mean, it's just a beautiful copy. It does need a press. There's like a little I don't know, like a kind of like a crease thing right here. It's really weird. It's like perfectly straight, but no color break. Then there's a couple little small, you know, indents here and there. No color breaking though. I think with a good press and probably a little bit of cleaning on the back cover, because the front cover is super clean. I'm gonna guess, no, this should hit at least a 9.2, period. And it might do that in the condition it is right here. But I would not be surprised if it hits a 9.4 plus. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you stopping by, checking my video out, checking my, what is it, May haul, free comic book day haul. Oh, I also want to show you one more thing, which I have right here, which is really cool. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have been doing this also. But the True Believers, I love picking these up. It gives me a chance to read or reread a lot of these stories from the Bronze Age and Silver Age without having to dig into the comic boxes and pull the originals out and take the chance of damaging them. But yeah, I picked this one up. I mean, I love that they came out with this type stuff, even though, yeah, there are older reprints, but I mean, and I grab a bunch of them. As you can see, there's that one. I grabbed a ton of these, and all these books I have the originals, which like I say, now I get a chance to either reread them or read them for the first time without opening up the originals. And I think it's fantastic for collecting. I really do, especially for the people who don't want to take the risk of damaging you know, their originals, and they want to either reread the story. And for kids, you know, the kids can pick up some of these reprints of books and read the stories without risking damaging the originals. But that's it. Like I say, thanks again, guys. I think I am going to throw a video on how to build a nice comic wall for your graded comics. I got a system down here that's fairly inexpensive. They display fantastic, and you might like it. But till then, thanks again. Batcave Comics out.